All right, welcome to Angry Cow Poetry in the Rialto living room. Pleasure to have all of you here. I've got a special feature tonight, and I met Adam Spells through Writing Nights in Canton, similar to how I met Blak Reign as well, which we can tell that story later. But we had these sword fights, these slams, face-to-face competitions, and there were two different matches set up that night. So I thankfully was not battling Adam. And I have no idea, I can't even remember who I was against, what the results were, because it didn't matter, because Adam won the night. Hands down, you walked away and Adam was the one that like blew us away. It's the first time I've met him, first time I've heard, and we've become really good friends since then. And I've heard Adam perform many, many, many times, and it's always a pleasure. And Adam's performed many different places, lots of different features, been a slam poet, been put out a book, Dear God, help me Adam, how's the rest of it go?
A collection of my thoughts and heart.
Collection of my thoughts and heart. I remember the beginning, but the subtitle. All right, so it is my pleasure to introduce to you Adam Spells.
Yeah. All right.
Woo!
You got some monkey here?
Hey, family.
Right.
I try to be a good friend. I understand how it feels to be alone. I haven't, and I ain't never lost nothing easy. It ain't been easy to lose. Dysfunction causes malfunction. My defensive walls got built with depression as a soil without food. Grief placed brick by brick. Anger seal coated, stabilizing the pain, and I kept it steady. And the devil stays ready, but quitting ain't ever been inside of my blood. Of course, these veins and my forgiveness don't really mix well with hate. It don't really believe in not hard working, and that fate is just fate. So I keep loving on me, writing, reciting. A few shows upcoming, but I do whatever it takes to heal. My prayers go forth, I cry out to God, face flat on the ground. The only safe time for a black man to kneel. I just had to keep writing. It's a direct purpose to letting go of this pain I often feel weak, but it's acceptable. I know many can relate to feeling like you got left behind. Grief and confusion cause restrictions in one's mind, so I feel you. I'll reach out to you, my friend. I promise I won't ever let you drown. My love, a life jacket, not part-time. You can reach me anytime, day or night. A text, a call, a yell, a scream, or a cry. You won't have to look left or right, shadow in physical form, because I'll always be by your side.
All right.
So I wrote this story. It's about me. And it's filled with ugly truths like, if I had been the shooter in anybody's school, you would have never ever heard this poem. Because white shooters arrested by cops without incident, well, that seems to be the norm, this poem. It's filled with thoughts I wouldn't have never ever shared, because I believe nobody ever cared. Like I couldn't have fought for a country, helping secure peace in our land when heads are turned and no justice is served. When the media proudly displays a man's past, even if he's a dead black man. I wanted to share my story, filled with many broken pieces. Like I was in love with a girl who was in love with crack. She was just a rebound chick after my first fiance, who died in 11 days from respiratory failure at age 36. Then my mother, 30 days later, she lost a battle with lung cancer, a rapid pace to stage 3. I cursed God through my anger and disbelief, but I'm alive, so I believe that he forgave me. Without paper and pen, it would have been hard surviving that. This poem, is maybe a brief description of times I was face to face with life circumstances. They often felt equal to deadly hurricanes and tsunami storms that made me what they call men with my skin anyways. Savage and aggressive. I also wanted to display what might not be the obvious. That every stage is a blessing. An opportunity to further heal. Every microphone a sanctuary. Every ink pen I feel used takes away layers of defensive skin I created from being abused. Every day spent that I am not physically incarcerated. helps a little bit with the hatred. Though this poem was also written for my family that's still in prison. You are still loved. You are not forsaken. You are not forgotten. I wrote this poem somewhere around September 4th, 2019. My mom was gone 5 years at that time. 2 months, 1 day. I still feel that pain. Some days I feel unlucky as Goliath the day that David slayed him. Maybe this poem was just some burdens that I carried. I'm trying diligently to place down next to my best friend. It was already buried. I just wanted to write it down, not let it slip away like relationships and people that you trust and situations you never wanted to be in. Not even sure where the punchlines were supposed to begin, or was this kind of poem that they should ever even be in. I just wanted to write this poem to keep me, you know, from how they say, fucking some shit up and flying off the deep end. Because my Uncle Roger, he died in his own prison, fatally losing to cocaine addiction. Well, I couldn't save him, because I was cooking dinners for condemned men in a correctional facility kitchen. This poem is like a balloon release. Like prayers to heaven for depression to fly away, for grief to stream along the clouds and be touched by an angel's love and disappear for eternity. If only I could write enough poems to create a law that God would instill to mankind as one of his own. It would be this: thou shalt rid thyself of pain, thou shalt rid thyself of anger or despair or rejection, not feeling protected, any anger, any present danger, if you just write one single poem.
Y'all all right?
Yeah. You all right?
I'm good.
I'm exhausted.
So I got a short one in here. It might pack a little punch, but it's okay. So yeah, I'm gonna just keep going.
Please do.
Okay, I know they say that roses are red and violets are blue. At least that's what they taught me growing up in nursery. I went to school at Harvey Rice Elementary. I learned a peculiar set of childhood games. One was hide and seek, tag, you're it. I noticed that separate people, or should I say separation, by definition they call it segregation. The black boy don't get to slide. We usually play in the dirt on opposite sides of the playgrounds. After all, we made it to the playground last. Remember teachers? They lined us up single file, lightest to darkest. I mean, softest to hardest, historical thief to martyrs. But we all know too well about hiding, seeking refuge after being tagged. We always be it, suspect, victim, or illegitimate. There always been a ring around the rosy. They ring around the innocent. Blacks be labeled dangerous. Blacks be labeled militant, hands up without guns on knees, but they still killing shit, still sending shots without warning. It's always at the expense of our people. We having won a day in the life as people of color skin without death and mourning. Still talk weeping, make endure for a night shit. But joy's supposed to come in the morning. We still got close relationships with local corners, but there seems to be an uproar of disdain. Because we protesting, buying black only with fists raised, taking back over our corners, marching won't do it, burning buildings won't do it, black love and unity is powerful, a beautiful communion, a union. They say we invincible, and that our hearts of many with skin like mine. And should I prove that to be a fact? So
I love that. That must be wet ink, new ink.
New ink, yeah, that's some new ink.
Okay, you know, I don't know that one.
You don't know that one?
We don't know that one.
Oh, poor thing. I'm sorry. Well, you know that's a feature. You're supposed to do like new stuff because you ain't got to worry about, memorizing and all of that stuff. But yeah,
that was wrong.
I got something else for y'all. You know, somebody's supposed to be here, but they didn't grant us parole. They snatched it back after doing 41 years. They let him stay home 2 weeks. And that's part of my emotion, because I waited a long time for him to get to see me, and yeah.
They mess with you bad.
For love. Many have judged me for loving you even after you took a life. They say my soul should be bitter, but yet I still cling as possibly to you. How sway, they say, it's possible to love you too long. Last hugged you, or maybe you picked me up and hugged me at age 3. I vaguely remember. I am 42 now. I've been chasing you due to the void I feel from missing you, chasing you through letter, sometimes via phone when fun is allowed. You're allowed funds now digitally, so I'd rather you eat meals, get through the next day, survive. I would pay you money for cars, but my voice is just, it won't help you breathe like food will. I understood long ago why you never call, and you just wait for packages instead to survive. No given alternatives, so please be safe. I write at the end of every letter you probably don't read. Behind sincerely, because goodbye seems forever too dooming, like those associates that forgotten memories of you intentionally, but they held them dear at points in their lives. Believe they did. After 37 years and more incarcerated, I assumed, maybe they assumed that you died, Beth left unsaid, but I believe one day that you will be free on this side. But battles be the same, must be safe, must lock your doors down before dark, must not allow the crimes in darkness make you feel unsafe. There is no escape here or there. There still should be count times. We unfortunately out here recounting lost lives, must keep watch over our families. Some of our children's homes have become prisons, bars and steals hearts inside. I remember you once telling me that if you still are caged when you die, the prison will bury you on their soul. Life means in a calculated system that you will earn no reward, like loved ones texting you I love you before goodbyes. There will be no goodbyes. Miracles don't sprinkle over mistakes. Rehabilitation is discounted in the process of the sentence given of life. It says stay there forever in your mistake. Be victim forever for anyone you victimize. To some, no amount of time is enough for a crime. For some, a loved one is hoped to be written off and not written to. But I will never forget one standing by your side. For 6 of those 37 years we walked the yard, both in prison. Me, I had a release date to hold. You living your exit date unknown. We both sinned, played cards, slammed dominoes, stirred and shared ramen noodles and sausages and ate out the same bowl. We defended ourselves against other foes. We shared moments filled with tears. We talked magically with our wishes of coming home in hopes of a second chance. And I love you and I miss you. In my mind you will be home soon, and I hold on to that faith. I hope and I pray that you continue to hold on to.
Right.
Wow.
Bringing it on. Bringing it on.
I told my girl I was gonna bare my soul. I ain't always gonna, I just kind of move how the Lord moved me,
Man, we just done bled all over the stage. It's good though. It's good.
Oh yeah, I got something for y'all.
Come on with it. We ready?
I want to live a long life, but only if God will allow me to always use this gift. It hasn't always been easy, treading through the late nights, my eyes and ears the best form of defensive protection, but this desire, this feeling of euphoria, each time pen scribbles across wrinkled paper about the wrinkles in life that are unstraightened. My life, unapologetically shared by men with similar skin and corresponding burdens from different bloodlines, but nonetheless, we are all one and the same, linked by fear of losing before given a chance to win, and deafening screams that black mothers propel to heaven after gun violence has participated alongside the devil in theft of a soul. Now silent, Broke hearts beat slow, bold script scribbled on lines short like obituaries last. Finalized descriptions of who men were before slavery. Death by way of traffic stop, no warning shot, or after incarceration, or addiction, or getting lost in the bottoms of bottles, or being put flat on pavement from service guns filled with points hollow. A picture when they once smiled. Because no one discusses when men be anything other than a suspect or a victim. Talked about so bad, name dragged in the dirt. Same elderly dirt poisoned by the bodies of evil men, but we're fathers too, you know. Brothers. Cousins, not all gang banging, not all trapped in traps with packs of toxins. Some of us do pray to God to dig out the sorrow in the pits of our stomachs, from fear that today could be our last. And some of us do sprinkle love over our trials and faith over our tribulations, realizing that real men have been breeded from pain, and real tears have watered the grass where best friends have been slain. And revenge was not always the first response to anything regarding our pain. Physical altercations ending in death is not how all of us men feel things should be. That's not a warrior. We're educated, highly favored and melanated, persuaded by our desire to move past those who see our skin as lower class and degrade as we still travel through racism and slander. Our destiny to say we've made it, our backs broken over same pavements that our kids engraved their names in, but still we rise above while ducking, moving forward. Our brave hearts content with battle of any resistance. It's been a fight for the black anyway since the beginning of existence. We stay persistent, real men don't budge or fold to any opposition or resistance because it's in our blood. Yeah. To always keep pushing and pushing to make it. I got a short one for you. This new too. Yeah, you know. When you know somebody gonna record, you get to hear yourself and practice and get better. You gotta take advantage of those opportunities. And then I like to share anyway, so it's all good. Get me started. It's sad. You know how caution tape be so visible nowadays, like open homicide became poolside discussion. We drown daily in pools of fallen tears and walk over stained cement. Memorials cemented into our vision. We see killing more now than actual life being born. We hear the cry of outrage from mass murder, more than horns blown, celebrating being just married. Unification is decreasing. I mean, most black boys be cellmates and pallbearer before basketball, taught not to snitch or threaten to die before learning how to survive. Cultural education fails to penetrate the mind if we're so willing to leave our young black boys behind. I get it. Some have chosen unpromising paths, man, I get it. Want the fast route to fast clout, turned younger thug, got too big and became captured. Just more black men being cast out. It's the cycle. Graves get dug consistently. Dirt goes over caskets more than is used to grow flowers. We're running out of flowers to put over these closed caskets. Sometimes I remind myself how beautiful life was before I actually knew what it meant to be black. Hunted, hated, yet desiring to be free, at peace. Innovative, or maybe that was just an illusion, was a dream worth never waking up from. And I swear I'll go to sleep over and over again if I actually had the time to relive that dream again. That special place where a hug was actually meant to say I love you and not I'm sorry for your loss. Ooh.
Damn.
Okay. Oh, wait.
Told you I got to start, I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit, something light. You know, we go out Friday night, man. I know working at 9 to 5. Some people, well, you know, off days be so different, but
Off days, what's that?
the ones you take and get in trouble for.
Okay. I've been there.
Girls be the off days. Like, you ain't got no PTO. Well, I'm leaving. See you later. Because y'all hiring. This is now hiring sign out there, so I'll be back. I'll be back. It's rush hour time. Magic begins. You're fresh off work, a new date maybe. Somebody getting spent, man. The week been hard, difficult in black skin liquor store. We all in a rush for Hennessy. Patron may sell out. They flying on Grey Gooses. Bags of cups for Casamigo shocks, lemon juice, lime juice, squeeze. Don Julio just might be your friend to the end. Raw cones and honeyberry, white Russian, one extra cause your homie, he really can't roll. Backwoods, swisher sweets. Tonight's friends and foes and rivals, they all meet and the day has just really begun. 6 to 3, 7 to 3, 8 to 5, 9 to 5, just routine, cause this here, it be life. Friends waiting, been texting your ass all day, mad they on red, some ain't working jobs, it don't matter. Black folk love them, they broke friends the same, at least on payday, they'll remind them later. For now, stick them in the back of selfies, but they still in the photos gleaming. Hashtag girls night out with my broke bestie. Hashtag homies for life. St. Clair up the way, down the way, we snapping it up, taking pictures tonight, cause these memories are forever. Front yards, backyards, broken but functional barbecue grills, homemade thrills, ATM, withdraw your rent for drinks, late month fee, stop at Aldi, save a lot, quick grab, hot dogs, buns and beef and some juice boxes for the kids, some sweets and some candy paper to inject the kids with energy. Get your ass up the street, yells and screams, all neighbors watch each other, all families tonight, the night, Friday, damn it, it's love day, the beginning of sanctimonious weekend. We brave out Monday through Thursday for a sigh of relief, but please, be safe. Don't drink so much you cannot remember. Do not black out. You are amongst loved ones. We do not want to call the police. In the first 30 seconds of a petty argument, Friday could be over, life ended, spoiled by gunshot, it will be too late, and your hangover could be filled with regret. That's a message.
All right.
Y'all spoiled it, I know.
Did you say that was the light one?
Yeah, I spoiled it. I got no life, nothing. You know, my life ain't been like sorry. So,
That was gospel there.
yeah. Thank you very much. It's a light drink. Got strong at the bottom. Oh, this my light. This my light. I did bring one. It's little too.
Yeah, right.
No one believes you now.
Alright, we here for all of it. Whatever.
I got you, but it is a little light. Okay. My dreams float outside me, fading in the candle smoke that travel over these broken grounds. I only wish to stay outside myself so I can see beauty, so I can view life, define the uniqueness that attracts me, so I can smell the healing in the side of just one physical breathing dandelion or maybe a beautiful black rose. Only me, in my purest form, totally honest, bearing agony from pieces left behind inside me, turned rotten from a she I have not forgotten, holding mementos of happiness, disguising my internal woes as I walk to a shining light. I wonder, will you open arms inviting me to share the shattered pieces you left of love, because brokenness did not evade you either? You too have searched for a living dandelion on broken ground and fell into a hole next to a dead black rose. So I figured maybe we could mesh pain into pleasure and find pleasure in measuring up to be enough this time. And I hoped we could escape inside one another, sharing memories of moments that molds us into what we value so much about each other. In the right now, I figured maybe we could actually kiss each other because we wanted to, and love the others because we wanted to, without papers that say we are property, because you can't sign your name under a spiritual connection with dues or vows, and true love is already sacred in the breath of life, like finding a physical breathing dandelion in the middle of a motherfucking broken ground on our union can be built. And water and bring life to these broken grounds. Our kisses can send sparks to this land to refresh crops and flowers and black roses. Yeah, I've never read that poem. I thought I was going to be stumbling.
Y'all doing okay?
Yeah.
How you doing?
How
you doing?
I'm doing alright. I'm about to go on, get something off the chest.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. This poem I'm finna read is one of my favorite poems. I did it in a slam and nobody even clapped.
What? That is the word.
Too stunned.
But somebody came up to me at the end and they said, man, they don't know what they just heard. I'm like, bro, I got kicked out the slam. Like,
They should all be under arrest.
It worked.
And then it was like,
Did it work?
I had to realize, excuse me.
You good?
Man, we get skinned too.
I had to realize that
Poetry is scared.
that you can't. Sometimes you, as a writer, you have to express yourself regardless of the audience or who's listening, because when you wrote this, you know what it was intended for. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna play the role of a female. But this the shit.
This should be interesting.
Battle of that?
I'm gonna tell you a story just that was told to me from a woman. A beautiful sister, age 21, intelligent. She recollected some times in her life. She said the abuse growing up with her father had been called discipline or love. My dad did not choose to spare the rod. He used his rod sexually. He used it more than sparingly, not so generous with the affection and the hugs. His discipline, always after a discussion, heartfelt, that would discuss a question I would ask, he would respond as if my only desire were to be a sexual being and display my ass. He confessed since I was his bloodline, he granted me with everything that he never understood from his generational course. One day I'd ask, Dad, is it okay if I have a boyfriend? Is it okay if you help me with my homework? Where's Mom? Did you attack her again? I wonder, are you the fear that forced her to leave me here? Did someone ever tell you that your misguided hate in war was the purpose for your hands? Did it describe it clearly and you found it an illusion? Dad, are you confusing saving me from what you could not escape? Dad, do you fear that I'll fall in love with a tender man, or are those strikes against my face preparation for my position as the victim of an emotional rape? Dad, did you know that years from now I'd experience a beating from a male friend said to love and cherish me, prefers I call him daddy? More reminders, he'll say, this hurts me more than it hurts you. I hurt you so no one else will. She said, he explained she would know how disobedience makes him feel. You belong to me, my girl. Ask any of the daddy's girls who's their world. Remember Dad? I remember every time he raises his hand. I hate you, that I stay. I see your structure in his bruised knuckles. My new oppressor has adopted your face. You exposed me first to that selfish love, so I was thoroughly ready to call the swelling and the tears a part of what that was. He said, I had free will, I could run. With you, I had a curfew, aware of the chambers that you hid the liquor and the loaded gun. I told you of my new boyfriend and you suggested I pray. I did. Many nights to God. The dad wouldn't strike me tonight, not me, not Mom, not any of his other kids. Maybe I could hear over my own screaming, but there was silence from God's end. I figured he let the devil in, but you called it discipline. Raising up your child in the way that she should go, it didn't take long. I gravitated like I belonged under an abusive hand for just a while. Now I can't decipher between a sinister grin or an honest smile. So Dad, since I guess you did it first, my creator, can I really say I know how abuse feels? Dad, are you still there? Will there be a safety net if I need to call you one evening and return home? You will protect me like you did when I was a child? Will you raise me up in the way I should not go? Will you aware I grow up in fear, be comfortably with the darkness? Associating myself with men like you, you know it's funny. You say I'm such a big piece of your heart, but I see you as broken and heartless, and I've been brought up by you, trained to love regardless, and forced to believe that who loves me the most actually strikes me the hardest. And someone told me they hadn't seen you in a while, thought you died. I didn't think of you quite as fond as one would, you know, the dearly departed. So, that was that. I got one more for you. I'm going to take a small break. It's wonderful to have a support system, somebody special in your life, move through this journey with you. So I wrote her a poem. It's called For Her. She is hurricane, thunderstorms, lightning bolts to strike is nice. She is magic wrapped up in dark skin, St. Clair in her hair, cleaving in her blood. There is some congestion, yet veins spew miraculous love. How powerful description, heavenly melon, heaven sent, craving every part I already know, the ones I don't, hoping I still get a chance to. She is too magnetic, a piece of perfection, a testimony to God's perfect vision, a dream come true. I once knew I had found a treasure when she agreed to pray for my safety daily. You know, our skin tones matching, our battles be something of the same, our stories be filled with family, lack of holes filled in our lives. Unfortunately got stuffed with some pain, but she smiles from time to time. Totally overwhelmed with excitement, I run and confess to my friends each one of those times, hey, I finally know what God looks like, and this is she, and she's beautiful, and she prays, and she's protective, and she should be more protected, so I'm careful, because I've seen and I know that she also cries and waters the earth, and for me, our love, she has cried, and she also sometimes says the right thing at the wrong time, so I guess it's the right time to be wrong with her, but it's okay. I never know how to tell her she's anything but perfect, what I want her to be. That's what she wants too, because all I do is speak truth. So I take back all that stuff about God don't like me and he can't hear and he's not answering prayers, because I mean, there had to be something special about me for him to create a creature so magnificent. And just to think it took me a whole 41 years to find you, and I must have been blinded but seeing clearly now, because God has only allowed this version of you in my vision.
Right.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna take a small little.
No. Come on, one more.
We got another,
bro.
Yeah, I'm feeling that.
I'm feeling it. Yeah, come on, please. You can take your little whatever you was gonna do.
Blak Reign says no, we're not coming off.
Just for me, please.
I got you, man.
When Blak Reign say,
That's right.
you got to stay up there.
Yeah, they did. I am not mad. And that. Let me.
And my arm is tired too. Come on, I'm still.
Alright, you asked for it. Dear Mama, there's so much that I want to say. Like, first of all, I never wanted to experience that day. You know, Sabrina had just died, and I couldn't believe that you had suddenly, your turn had arrived, and all those lives God instructed you to save. All those nights I called, and you were on the phone with church members, and the phone, it just rang. All those Sundays I watched you give faithful praise, all the love that you provided. I felt like at that time life was just cruel and unfair, though you worked to ensure we stayed fully clothed. That pain had stripped me there. Sarcoidosis and lung cancer stage 3. God, seriously? Why me? Why my family? There's no truth in that saying. Pain don't set you free. I abruptly lost hope. See, emotion never decays and fades. Thoughts thoughts can have a balance and you could gain control, but death can make you feel like you're losing your whole soul. You search high and low for something that has substance, something's worth living for. It was your hugs and understanding of my dreams and what that mean that molded me, mama. If I never apologized for those things I did that sent me away as a kid, had my bedroom empty when you maintained full safety for us to live, I apologize like I should have did 1,000,000 times. I was just blinded by the bright lights on the corners, filled with absent fathers and dope dealers and winos and looking for a loophole, a quick exit out of existence. I was just in a lot of pain then, even though you kept me in the word, teaching me not to sin. I still traveled away to prisons and institutions. I was conflicted. Should I go this way or should I go that way or down the wrong path? I never meant to hurt you, mama. I wish I could have shown you sooner with my actions as a man that you taught me well. And yes, I can stand. And yes, I became a pretty decent man. And yes, you gave me plenty for me to survive long. And I will study and read some of those same Bible verses. I use them at times I need to feel strong. They always been solid steps for me to climb on. And oh, did you know I became a poet? And guess what, mama? The hood, it never buried me, then resurrected me. They never made no street corner named after me. They haven't poured no liquor out on no sidewalks to hide the blood or set the balloons free. They represent me, they call it G. I never suffer from the sorrow. I no longer beg, I no longer steal, I no longer rob or borrow. Mama, I made it. Those prayers and those long nights crying, they saved me. I just wanted to thank you. It's difficult for a woman to raise her troubled child and keep him safe from the wild, and you sacrificed everything, your sweat and your blood. You were always brave for me, and I love you, mama. Now maybe I can rest in peace. I mean, woo. We can take a little brief break, go over my little stuff, make sure
Adam Spells, y'all.
Adam Spells.
Ain't there mama in the book?
Wow.
That's in the book. Dear God, but dear mama's in the book.
The passion, the sincerity, the talent of Adam Spells. One more time, please. We're going to take a little break, grab drinks from Seth here at the bar. I'm going to charge my phone so it doesn't die in the second part. We're going to have an open mic when we come back from break, and then Adam's going to come up one more time. And this is going to be an amazing open mic tonight. I can tell by the room, so I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you for being here. All right, we are going to start up with the open mic. The open mic tonight is fantastic. I'm excited to introduce all of these folks up to the stage. Another thing for you tonight, if you would, there is a suggested $5 donation. All of that goes to our feature tonight to Adam Spells. So if you can kick a few bucks in there, it'll help us pay our poet. We appreciate that. So first up on the open mic, if you're willing and able, how about Danielle, Nicole, Nikki, Dixon?
Meet my sister in person.
Danielle was the very first feature we had for Angry Cow Poetry in the Rialto living room.
Alright, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's all good.
I don't think I have the abridged version of this poem, so I'm gonna try not to bore you with all of the
You ain't never bored.
excess on this one, because it's one of those that I really only wrote for me. So I wrote it after my mom died. So since Adam did his, I'll do mine.
Yeah, that's fun.
It's called Sometimes in August. Sometimes in August, I wake up in 2004, standing in the empty living room, the wonderful, awful smell of lilies and funeral flowers. Sometimes in August, I wake up in 2004. Morning sun shines warmly, innocently through the window, bathing the room in peace, as if it was trying to tell me she crossed over safely, and everything is okay. And if I didn't know better, I would believe everything was okay as it beckons me to come out and enjoy it before the fall sets in. But there is no us. There's only me, and the sun is a liar. Sometimes in August, I wake up numb in 2004, a house full of well-wishers trying to be present for my support. But I comfort them more than they comfort me. They wait for me to break down. But they don't know I mourned her loss while she was still here. Her death was a relief. Sometimes in August, I wake up in 2004, reaching for the phone to call her and tell her the funny thing that happened. Sometimes in August, I mourn the loss of a mother's love, a handwritten note on the back stairs, a $10 bill she knew I needed but was too proud to ask for, a script, I love you at the end. Sometimes in August, I flash back to 2004. An ambulance screams past me on the road. I follow it for old time's sake. Sometimes in August, I relive every day of her last 2 weeks of life. Friday the 13th, she brought me lunch for the last time. Lobster tail. She had the crab legs she wasn't supposed to have. I was too tired to fight her on that. She had been through so much. She gave me a heartfelt thank you, and I knew it was more than just about picking up lunch. Sometimes in August, I wake up in 2004. I work myself to exhaustion to outrun my feelings. Sometimes in August, I wake up to a tactfully engineered conversation about funeral plans and final wishes. She joked, but not joked, about cock blocking me from the great beyond. And I joked, but not joked, about burying her ashes, because she wasn't doing that from my mantelpiece. Sometimes in August, I wake up on that first Sunday, 2004, when she insisted on a picnic at the park. It was my only day off. I was exhausted and I wanted to call it off, but she had just gotten out of the hospital. She was cranky. I was irritable. We fought. But once we got to the park, she threw her arms open wide like she was embracing the outdoors. She inhaled sunlight and fresh air, breathed in 50 years of family and good times at our spot by the foot of the hill. She exhaled pain, needles, and extended hospital stays. She turned to me and simply stated, I needed this. And everything inside me melted when I realized the universe did me a solid by not allowing me to deny a dying woman her last park day. Sometimes I wake up at 3 a.m. on August 30th to a visual voicemail planted in my dreams. She was ascending into the clouds on an escalator, still in her hospital gown, saying, just wanted to let you know I'm on my way up. Everything's taken care of. Love you. And I responded in song lyrics to what became our song, Postmortem. I love you. Ooh, I love you too. Honey, I love you. Baby, will you call me the moment you get there? Will you do that? Will you do that for me, child? And sometimes in August, that Aretha song graces my radio, and I know I got my call back from heaven. I'll be one more if it's okay.
You want two more?
Blak Reign ain't let anybody on stage tonight.
That wasn't Blak Reign.
That was somebody else.
Well, so this one I used to slam with. It's called And You're Welcome. My story be awkward like fat black girl geeking at Comic-Con, curvy bulges squeezed into red spandex super suit cosplay, no boots though, cause my feet be swollen. My story kicks ass and Snickers though. My story don't chase no villains, they find me. Cue the wind machine. Whoosh. My story meets judgmental gazes like Nuck if you buck, eyeballs blazing, dare them to say something they never do. My story be looking crazy like busty bumping top side boob rocking the Bradley. You know, where the bra rides the belly. My story is the poster child for one size does not fit all. My story tables its insecurities. My story knows its purpose. I'm here to save some lives tonight, and you're welcome. My story has become the standard of crazy that you have to surpass in order to be ridiculed, allowing common weirdos to pass free, and you're welcome. Cue dramatic cake flip. My story, oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. My story drips drama like a percolator. There's some pros in this house when you see it pointed out. My story is somebody's oasis in the desert. My story has beaten down roads less traveled. It creates success in places less desired, lighting the way to mental freedom. My story be that don't give a fuckness that makes your authentic self impervious to criticism. My story can't guarantee that you'll never get hurt, but it is a testimony that you can recover from it. My story is an invitation for you to show up for yourself. My story be that beacon light for the weirdos of the world to unite and shift the bell curve of normalcy so hard that the earth has no choice but to open up and make room for otherness, other weirdness, other brilliance, other creativity. My story, loose the noose of assimilation. I came to save your life tonight, and you're welcome.
And you're welcome. Danielle, Nicole, Nikki, Dixon. Coming to the mic right now. Right now. Please welcome Deazy. Come on up.
Right now.
You right now. You ready?
Good evening. So I wrote this one. It's a brief one. I wrote it for my little brothers. And it's called Followers. Yo, don't be group thinking, wave riding fools who vex the scholars. The root of all they talk about is sex and dollars. So shallow. Deep down, depressed, obsessive cowards drowned in perspectives, mirages of power. Followers.
Hey.
All right, one more time for Deazy, please. Feels like a really good time to announce Angry Pal Poetry is hosting at the Kenmore Branch Library just down the road, Tuesday, October 18th. We have a feature over there combining spoken word and music as part of the Sounds of Akron series with the amazing High Priest and the amazing Blak Reign. You're going to hear both of them on open night. Please welcome Blak Reign next to the stage.
Thank you, good sir. How y'all feeling tonight?
Feeling good.
Good. How y'all feeling tonight?
Yeah.
All right. Everybody that just walked in, man, this has been an amazing experience. Therapy, I definitely need it. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Kyle Poetry. Adam Spells. Two of my brothers in the struggle, man. I'm telling you, and it's about this expression thing, bro. And like Adam said, it's gonna be an emotional night, y'all.
Yeah.
I love intimate crowds like this where you don't get too much stuff going on, because these moments right here, man, everything was meant to be, you know. Excuse my words, I don't have everything figured out. Standing up here on stage and realizing that, guess what, for the rest of my life, I'm going to stand on every word that come out my mouth. To my children, to my friends, to my brothers, to my sisters, really to myself, right? Because it sounds like we be preaching all the time, bro. Sisters, queens, kings. But I just be reminding my goddamn self.
Right.
All the time. So I am no bigger than no one, but I damn sure ain't no less. And I won't settle for less, because that's where I come from. The women in my family, oh my God. We just gonna take a moment of silence because Tone put this on me. Sometimes words get in the way. Words that, moment of silence, please. I'm thirsty, y'all. You know, look at this. I'm thirsty. This man was thirsty. But this said that. But it's supreme with me. Supreme, if you hear me say that, and that's like one of the things that I say. I want to let y'all know, but like I said, I'm reminding my goddamn self. The Lord reigns supreme over every and all things. This is His time. He is time when it's time. Fathom. Be grateful for what you have today, yesterday, and as we look for tomorrows, you know what I'm saying? Tomorrow, choose tomorrows, your tomorrow, my niece's tomorrows, you know what I'm saying? Because straight up, I'm living proof that God is real. I am encamped with angels. Because I could have been gone with both eyes or hit in my temple, lost my sight, but certain things happen, you know, that 2 weeks ago I was kind of like the elephant man. I was lumpy. But 2 weeks later, I'm looking like this, you know what I'm saying? Because God is real. I was protecting my niece from a terrible situation, and I'll stand up on that every time, you know what I'm saying? It's not about ego with me. It's not about me. I'm trying to remove me because there's a whole lot more out here than me, you know, and that's why I'm taking these steps to do what I gotta do. That's a poem, y'all, if y'all ain't know that, you know what I'm saying? I just wrote it tonight. But no, I never wanted to get categorized as a poet, as this or as that. So I just step to the stage and just bring myself. I love words, you know, I mean, trying to make sense of things or just basically trying to create. And that's what I am. I'm a creator, you know. I'm God because God got, you know, His breath in me. And if you're the Most High, I guarantee you I've been in a very, very dark place, a low place. I mean, so low where I didn't want to, do this make sense? I don't want to be great. I don't want to be great. Because I thought I was great and then it got took from me and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. So I had to lean on Him. And I said, if you wake me up every day, I guarantee you I'm going to get stronger. And guess what? 4-7 in some months. And I'm still thirsty though. I'm still thirsty. They still got their water facilities, what we can drink on. We are the people. This might say white or black, but if you transcend, that's a color. That's a color. We're working with something different here, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired, but guess what? I'm rejuvenated and I'm activated. So until I give my last, he ain't called my name yet. So I'm gonna just, I don't know, preacher prophecies during the purple passions of peace, pestilence, poverty, and pessimism is what they preach. People, we gotta press on and push through our problems while practicing particular protocol to solve them. Patience and pressure makes the diamond perfected, while pleasure and pain parts the heart. We must protect it. Passionate people preaching peace with their palms. My persona is positive. I'm premonition of Psalms. Still, I'm standing up here on stage trying to deliver phenomenal parables to my people. Precaution, check the proceeds before you check the peephole. Preciously painted vivid pictures of the palace while power-packed punks get eaten at Lake Placid. I still puff past it, don't pretend to be passive. I'm trying to feed my family, gotta stretch like plastic. Prisons and pistols and punishment, it's all a plot. Political position is perplexed by the pot as I puff and pray. Hey, one, that's I call that perpetual, if you will. But I gotta work on I'm trying to work on my stage presence, man. I got a platform. I mean, my platform, like I said, is supreme. That's my platform. Because, matter of fact, I think I got this platform, but then, guess what? That didn't work. I'm on to the next thing. I'm not going to give up. Ask anybody in my past, from the third string running back at Glen Oak High School in Canton to just when I went to the military, I was the third in command, second in command. Lost my position because of who I gravitate to and who gravitates to me. I'm not going to be fake. I can never be fake, so I did not fit the protocol of the U.S. military. So therefore, I mean, everything is good, but I realize who I am and what I am and what it is, you know what I'm saying? I'm just blessed that y'all are all here, to witness this night. Give it up for Adam Spells one more time. Come on. And Keith Mad Cow Poetry, just basically the platforms that he's presenting right here. And I mean, if I will, I'm gonna be prepared to, just rock the mic the 18th with another platform that you've created, Keith, and endeavors in this room. You know what I'm saying? My first time getting to meet my sis here. You know what I'm saying, in person, but we've been connected for like the last year or so, like that. And I'm a big fan. And, we worked together actually. You know what I'm saying? We was on one of Keith's poems where we actually did something together. So it was like, don't limit yourself, first of all. And when you realize that, don't get in the way. Just don't get in the way. Get out the way and just one step in front of the other. In the military, which they taught me, you're 1, 2, you're left, right. Left, right. Put it in any rhythm that you deem necessary for self-survival. But accountability and respect, you'll go a long way. Thank you, Blak Reign.
Blak Reign. One more time for Blak Reign. All right. Please clap to stage Miss Millz.
All right.
Should be interesting, huh?
Always, always.
Hello, my name is Miss Millz. I am new to all y'all, so it has been a very edifying pleasure. Yes, especially you, sir. I have, yes. It kind of, I don't know, I'm going to scratch my name off the list.
You're already up there.
But I'm here. So, I guess I'll do a little, another freestyle set.
All right.
Alright. I said, I wish upon a star. I wish the words that be spoke be true, just connected to people's actions, but it just be following in between them. ... dots. But I sure wish upon a star that it don't matter what race you are, age, it doesn't matter your culture. You could just look high and say, I am.
Okay.
But there's still that ... Damn. And I got kids at home. Oh no. Wow. See, I wish upon a star that all these kids would know that they loved. They don't have to act, react, prove. They don't have to do nothing but guess what? Get an A, B, or a C at school. Nikes will not prove you are the best. Say that.
It's your spirit connected to your mind, pulsating through your heart. I wish upon a star, Jesus. These ... dots connected again. Action, word, factual. Martin Luther King said it first. I guess I'll be maybe multi-million to say it, but I will continue to wish upon a star as I continue to motivate every black, white, I don't care, queen, sister, sir, whoever, he, she. It all starts with you though, right? Because guess what? That was your brother, cousin, kid, sister, brother, I don't know. You seen that didn't fit well. You seen his head down. You seen his eyes a little glazy. All he needed was a, hey bro, it's gonna be alright. But you got that ... associated with Nike signs and, well, let's talk about that Gucci and Coachy, Chanel, I don't know. But you know what? I'm gonna continue wishing upon that star. Blessings.
All right. Thank you. All right, Miss Millz, one more time. All right, also on the 18th, you don't get to hear just Blak Reign, you get to hear a high priest. So please clap Tone up to the stage here as well.
What's up? Like he said, on the 18th down at the Kenmore Library, I'll be featuring. Always a pleasure when anybody asks me to come and perform or just offer a platform to be myself and exhibit my art and express that. This is the second time I got to hear Adam Spells. Yeah. You know what I mean? My man's never heard you. Short and sweet. I definitely enjoyed you totally.
Thank you.
Lady just walked back in the room. Thank you for saving my life. I appreciate that.
Wait till we get the cake flip.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? She came in and truly saved the day for real. And I appreciate that because, and I'm going to do this poem right here. A lot of times, this world can be consuming, and we can kind of get lost in it. Lost in the way out here, lost in the ways in here, and we may not be able to see things as God sees them.
Yes.
And so, this is kind of just something that I was feeling when I was in that kind of place.
Yeah.
I'm alone in this world of my thoughts. Find my way on my own, a lost cause. I've been walking alone on this road, on a journey to find my way home. I'm alone in this world of my thoughts. Find my way on my own, a lost cause. I've been walking alone on this road, on a journey to find my way home. I wonder what religion is. I wonder what division is. I wonder what's been keeping us for so long. How long must we keep holding on to hope alone if faith alone is useless? I wonder what we gonna do then. They say steady long, steady wrong, so I'm trying not to take too long to write this poem and still have high octane form. Here, hit this shit. I don't know if they gonna get this shit. You know what they say about niggas, they can't think for shit. Excuse my French. It's a shame I gotta cuss just to get your attention. But now that I got it, I'm supposed to give you something. Look up the definition of humble. See how they've been playing mind games with you? A low estimate of one's own importance. It sounds like they want you to doubt your own self-importance. That's why it's important that we look. They put it in a book, they crook, seeking ye shall find. You should have read their book. See, you got to change your perception when you look. See how you look. It's more than a kawiki think. They controlling what the people think. You got to stop and ask yourself the better question, like why the hell I think what I think. We've been on the surface level, now it's time to go deep. Odell Beckham, to catch him you gotta reach. I only debate with my equals. Everybody else I must teach. Test and try in the fire, I got heat, try me. Bring your notes and your research. I've been walking so long on my own, nigga, my feet hurt. I'm trying to pave the way. Can't be another statistic. I'm too talented, I'm too gifted. But it's not about who's hotter, it's about who gets it. Two ears, one mouth. Now listen, you being you isn't your weakness, and it's a shame if you think it is. But if you do and you can fit the shoe, Well, then I'm glad that you listen.
Keep it going for Tone, please. Make sure you come out on the 18th. Check out High Priest. Check out Blak Reign.
All right.
Coming to the stage next, please clap up to the stage, Vision.
Vision! I said, don't be whispering when you get up there.
I know.
Like she doesn't know how to do a mic.
Keep trying to tell people I'm actually very shy undercover.
Yeah, okay. I don't believe you.
Okay.
Just take this picture.
Thank you, brother. That was awesome. I especially appreciate the fact that you use a very high level SAT word of coinky-dink. That was quite possibly one of my highlights. Okay, I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, so when you said something about how the world is consuming, how it can just be a lot, it can. So I'm going to read you my therapy poem.
Please.
And some of y'all have heard it. It's called Present. It's kind of like how I meditate. I was like moving around a whole lot one day, like putting all this stuff on my to-do list, and I was like, yeah, no, this ain't gonna work no more. And the interesting thing was I kept thinking about the next thing. I wasn't present in the moment. I kept thinking about what I had to do next, and the next, and the next, and the next. And then I was getting overwhelmed. And I was like, it's Saturday morning. Why the hell am I overwhelmed? And so I sat down and I wrote this poem, like literally in that moment. And it's called Present. It's still today. No need to think about tomorrow. I'm just going to sit here and sip my coffee, and I will focus on tomorrow. And when tomorrow comes, tomorrow will be today, and I will be present in that day. I will not think of yesterday. No fretting over what I did not do, because there is simply no going back in time. I will not rush. I will not stress. I will just be and do my best. All is fine and will be done in due time. Don't eat the whole day in one bite. Nibble on each moment and breathe in between. Take another sip of coffee, or perhaps, if you prefer, a cup of tea. See, the source of our anxiety lies in reflections of moments that have already passed and moments we cannot get back. Erase it all from your mind and drink in the moment that you have. We rush through seconds. We plow through minutes. We blink and scroll entire hours away. Can't figure out how the milk I bought was sour. I could have sworn I just bought it yesterday. We wake up in the morning, then blink twice and we're getting ready for bed. Stop. Make some tea. Pick up a book you have not read. And don't forget to breathe. Wake up, go to work, but first stop and smell a flower. Go to the gym. Go to the mall, but maybe stop and just stare at the sky for like a half an hour, because you do have time. Post no pictures. Do not scroll. Do not ask Google anything. It will take you down a long, winding rabbit hole. As for me, I'm just sitting here breathing. I have not moved from this spot. I mean, where do I really just have to be? See, we seek invisible, non-existent validation by being inexplicably busy, bragging about how much we do while we're still unfulfilled and empty, priding ourselves in a projection that we are winning an imaginary race. Then we look down on ourselves when we cannot keep up the pace. We spend dollars while we're chasing dimes. We are killing ourselves on a quest to survive. Even the earth rests. I am rebelling. Because I am tired. I don't want to rush anymore. So I'm not. I'm just going to sit here and finish this last sip of coffee while I don't forget to breathe. And what I do in the next moment, I ain't even going to think about that right now. When the moment comes, we'll see.
All right now. Woo!
I love that. Oh, I love that. That was amazing.
It is on YouTube. You can follow me at Visions Poetry. VISION''S Poetry. It's there.
Wow, I'm impressed.
What?
Yes.
You actually didn't forget to plug yourself.
I actually plugged myself, right?
We're going to get my brother Adam to plug himself too, but
Right.
Oh yeah. I'm a step ahead of you. I got you. I brought bookmarks with all
Oh,
the
he brought bookmarks. Marketing materials. He's grown. So, I have this last poem I'm going to do. And I haven't actually done this publicly because I wrote it for someone and they have it recorded so I can say it now. And it's just promoting sisterhood. Sometimes there's tension and contention and misunderstandings and misinterpretations and miscommunications and just wounds that sometimes we have. So it's called Dear Sister.
Yes, come on.
Dear sister, I need you to know how much I love you. So just please have faith in me. I know so many have let you down before, but no matter what, you can always turn to me. See, there is an unspoken bond between us that only we can feel and see. But sometimes it can be hard for us to trust each other because we've been divided so intentionally. I'm amazed at how alike we are, no matter how different at first we may seem. But every time I talk to you, my sister, I learn we have some of the same insecurities and dreams, and I know that for some, the dream of sisterhood was deferred long ago. Betrayed by someone whose love was tainted and now doubt consumes your soul. But if you open your heart to this divine love, it will take you in its warm embrace, reminding you once again that your sister is a safe place. See, her heart has once been broken, and some of the same places as yours. So she can feel, hear, and sense your pain in a way you've never seen before, and then she will suddenly appear when you don't think you can go on another day. She could just wrap you in her arms, and then somehow you find the strength to move mountains and their falling boulders that almost took your life. But then you use those boulders to lead you then you use those boulders as the steps to lead you to your purpose and to your light. Sister, I will listen to you when you feel unheard, cover you when you feel unprotected. Remind you of your beauty and your worth in the moments that you feel rejected. And I will forgive you if you make a mistake, for we all deserve mercy and grace. And I will never see you as my competition because this life is not a race.
Come on.
Together, we will learn all the things that we were never taught. Heal from this racial and generational trauma, and when the battles our ancestors died for when they fought, because life, with even one good real sister, can take you higher than you can ever believe. But now, you don't have to wonder. We are here with this abundant sisterly love with arms wide open. So be ready to receive. Sincerely, your sister.
all right now. All right now. You said we had time to go to the gym. What am I doing there?
At 6 o'clock in the morning when I go.
Man, the energy and talent in this room is fantastic. So glad you're all here. Please keep coming every first Wednesday. Please now clap the stage priest.
How you guys doing? Priest, my name. I go by 9. It's like an artist name. I will be at the, I'm not pretty sure what the bar or venue's called. But I'll be on the 18th performing music.
At the Kenmore Live there.
Kenmore Live, there it is. I'm actually new to Cleveland. So,
Where are you from?
Columbus, Ohio.
Alright.
Yep, so I came here for school and continue my music career, basically that. My cousin is a very good poet himself.
Can I ask you how old you are, young man?
Yeah, I'm actually about to be 22 in like what, a week and a half? So, yeah, just wanted to give you guys a little introduction. I actually might do a little something I have too.
Please.
So, this is a song I have called Pain. It's kind of like a poem. So I'll just go for what I have.
Be there for it.
See if I can find it first. This weed never healing my pain. This shit got me stuck. The drugs tried to ruin my life, but I couldn't give up. My nigga just took his own life, and I pray he went up. I waited 10 months to fuck it, but I had to fuck. The only thing keeping me calm is the music, but they keep on turning me up. God damn, here they go again. Hates be coming from left and right. I just block them like fans and treat them like friends. I'm the coldest with the pen. I'm the hardest with the mic. I should have popped all the witness that night, but I value all life. I told them niggas, you with me, the only limit is the sky. These bitches gonna learn some spice. I had it bad, my nigga, but I had enough. Lucia stood right to my hill of my gun. The space on my body to cover my pain. Pain. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Priest. Alright, keep it going for Priest. Alright, please clap to the stage. Young Thomas. Come on up, Thomas.
Dang, can we still call you Thomas?
That's been the contention a lot lately.
I know, right?
People are really getting on you for that,
man. So,
Forever young.
You know, exactly. All right, how y'all doing tonight?
I'm great.
All right, so I go by the name of Young Thomas, and yeah, I'll get into this first one. I used to always enjoy the bright shades, but now everything is dreadful. Trying to find a key so I don't get locked down here forever. The endeavor to lighten the mood was reversed by dull colors in the pavement. I fell again, trying not to seep into the concrete, knowing damn well I can't swim, so I'm with the cement the floor. When am I gonna figure out that it's only up from here? Because my surroundings are shadows of people that were never really there. I mean, why would I ask for handouts when one was never even extended? The farthest you ever went was allowing me to be the butt of your every joke. Now I'm just sitting here thinking about the words I should have spoken. Needed a clear mind from the bullshit, relationships remain broken. I'm just trying to smoke in my car, the only way to cleanse the air. It's all darkness around, but I'm steadily feeling the stairs. Watching for the entertainment, not knowing that I grew up to mama accepting payments. Neighboring houses stay vacant, no money, no patience. I strayed away from colors, stay neutral, resulting in minimal complications. I mean, I just want to enjoy the sunny skies like everyone else. But the cloud over my head always have other plans. I wonder if this cloud let me elevate my dim light high enough to see God's plans. I just want to be healed by God's hands. Is that too much to ask for? Every time they came over, I snuck out the back door. Now I'm sleeping in places that you can't even pay tax for. Rejecting the urge to fight for a country that refusing to acknowledge that we built this country, but they still manufacture ghettos where most of us are going hungry, and I'm tired of starving. I'm just trying to find something I can put my all in, but I need money now. Empty the drawer, give me the loot. I ain't taking no bargain. By the time I stepped outside, the whole spot was calling. As they were walking out orders, I was just staring into the lights, thinking about the warm bed that I can fall in and have a peaceful night, because it's only supposed to be up from here, right? Woo. So yeah, y'all can follow me on Instagram at 98_Young Thomas. And
man, that was some grown man with a job right there. Ain't called him Tommy no more.
All right, so I can't decide. So pick a number between 1 and 2.
3.
You know?
Tone said 3.
See, that's them dots.
I'll go 2.
So I got a lot of questions, and I know y'all got some answers, like how Magic ain't died from AIDS, but one of my grandfathers died from cancer. Like how black people get the death penalty when it's only jail time for Charles Manson. Like I feel like they need to do better because they're treating us like Bryan Cranston, like we're Heisenberg. Don't that sound absurd? I'm just trying to live my life, but to my life they flip the bird and just shit up my whole life and side with the alt-rights, all right. But I can't calm down because they're treating us like Bryan Cranston, like we're Heisenberg. It be the closest ones to you that be living in the suburbs, that be right under your nose, like coke in the 80s, having sex with black women, creating crack babies, throwing drugs in the ghettos, creating trap babies, confirming what they already think, saying we crazy. Because we're all doped up and selling dope. It's like they gave us a rope and we were hanging ourselves. I mean, we're hanging ourselves. I mean, we do it so well. I mean, that comes where we dwell, right? And it don't matter how much money you got, they ain't gonna stop them from raising hell on you. And they don't care about the fame, just to control, let them hang on you. I mean, hang on you. Turn the M upside down and now we got the W. That means we got the wood to make a meal till they take the leg right from under you. Like, why would they take out a man for helping this community? Promoting unity in spite of all of the scrutiny. In the midst of his affiliation in jail time, he had more than enough for those bail bonds. He no longer had to pay because he knows the jail's crimes. So he bonded with his community and gave jobs that came a long way from shoe shiners. If we're so inferior, why burn us down in Tulsa? Was that so we can stay as blue collars? Was it fair to let jaws to destroy black business and black families? Man, y'all some cowards. And try to send some fake love through some half-dead flowers. Man, I'm tired of this bullshit. I really want some answers like how Magic ain't died from AIDS, 50 people still dying from cancer to this day. And they just say that they was gonna die anyway. Man, can't you see? This is a form of crowd controlling. They no longer giving women a choice, man. This can't be real, man. Stop trolling. They think if they keep giving us bad hands, we'll keep folding. Like, how is it that they fear us but still see us as inferior? I mean, we taking a sun, which is natural, but it burns them, so really what's wrong with their exterior? I mean, the sun gives life, but slowly takes dead, so do you see a problem with this picture? They should really be listening to us before it's too late. Because this question can turn into action fast and white people taking a culture trying to imitate. Thank you.
Yeah. Woo! That's it again. Woo!
Man, thank you. One more time for Young Thomas. All right, so I'm going to do one piece, and we're going to bring our feature back up here. I released my latest book, Continuity Flaws, back in March. And when I did so, I wanted to have, an event. I wanted it to be special. And so I called up Danielle, Nicole, Nikki, Dixon, and Nyla Muhammad, Vision, and Adam Spells. And I said, would you do this with me? And all of them like, yes. And it was one of my favorite nights that I've been, one of my favorite nights, period. And so we were doing Continuity Flaws, and Adam, during his set, Adam read one of my pieces. Now, Adam didn't read from Continuity Flaws. Adam read from my previous book.
Well, you got multiple books.
Yeah, I got 2 poetry, but 3 books total. And I still remember Adam's like, now I know it's supposed to be about continuity flaws, but I want you to buy both of them. And so Adam read, I believe, your favorite piece of mine. So that's what I'm going to do an open mic, because I now think of this, of Adam every time that I think of this piece, perform this piece. This is called When Breathing is Considered Optional. I'm sorry to tell you, a mother says to her son, due to your skin color, you can't have that toy gun. But that is not all. You better sit down. This is only a partial list. You can't wear a hoodie without having suspicion drawn upon you. You can't barbecue in the park without a white woman being uncomfortable and dialing 911. You can't sit at Starbucks waiting for a friend without leaving in custody. You can't nap on campus, even in your own dorm, without the police being called. You can't hold a cell phone in your grandma's backyard without being handcuffed after you are killed. You can't walk into Walmart, pick an item off the shelf, and carry it around casually without fear of being shot. You can't decline to wave to someone's neighbor as you leave an Airbnb. You can't even sit inside your own apartment in case a cop gets confused and thinks you are in hers. You can't be president, despite your grace and intellect, without having your religion and nationality doubted and mocked. You can't carry a real gun, stashed away in your glove box, even with a permit and full disclosure to the officer, even with your girlfriend and her daughter beside you. When will there no longer be a need to march, to kneel, to protest? When will Nazis not, in fact, be very fine people? When will continued shouts of "I can't breathe" be enough to ensure a fucking breath? Appreciate that. And with that, I would love to welcome back to the stage my dear friend, our feature tonight, Adam Spells.
And how can we follow you, Adam?
Oh yeah. So you can follow me, love_now_Adam Spells Poetry on IG. And I also have a Facebook poetry page. It's just Adam Spells Poetry, all one word. It's can't miss me. It's me and my Black King hoodie. There's two of them. One of them a fraud. I don't know how to delete it, but that's what it is. So I'm gonna get right back into it. Give y'all my version of love.
All right.
I know what love is. Well, it's different versions of it. I mean, I know what it feels like. I'm unsure exactly what it means when you dream that love is a dream designed to be fulfilled for me. I've heard about it. You know how love supposedly sets you free. Free like no longer being a caged man once again on dangerous terrain. We call it the outside. They, the prey or predator, calls it the game. Shame is not incorporated, but it is sometimes the basis of love. I mean, sometimes it does leave stains upon broken hearts and fix itself snugly inside of pain. Sometimes love is shattered, mishandled, and given away freely. Love is or could be detrimentally just a word. It's often heard of to be a myth instead of a gift to a desiring soul never made to be whole. Is sometimes blinding, a physical beating and being repeated because it's sometimes binding, because inability to feel real love sometimes make the inside feel like you're dying, and past loves and pains causes unloving reminders. Sometimes love is one last cry, never a last goodbye. When someone you love dies, you say, I love you forever, on bent knees, head upright, hoping if God loves you, He loves you enough to recognize your cries and your pleas. There is love like, my brother, I'll fight beside you with an extra pair of fists, some extra anger to accompany your hatred, because we are still persecuted and hated, persuaded to be accepting of being degraded and intentionally, innocently incarcerated. There is love like, I, king to a beautiful black queen, I don't want to live without your kiss and your touch and your mood in this home that we share, where I'm bare, naked, fully clothed in front of you. There is love for everything else, but no other love is deep as the love that I feel for you. There is us and then them, and there is defeat, but not when real love breaks down doors to let it shine through and puts beats in your hearts. And love can be recovering from her previous feelings of relationship confinement, and she will love how you've made loyalty to sealing her open wounds and assignment. There is love for everything else, but no other love as deep as the love that I feel for you. Like, I'll die after I've loved you. To marinate in hell with the devil, he will hate me from the shield that my never dying love for you has gave me. There is love like, I won't go too far. You can depend on me to be a friend. I'll go to war with you, for you, we. This unbreakable love through the fuck yous and the disconnect. No disrespect to our sacred vows to just exist in this dying lifetime, because growing memories to cherish for a lifetime. There is love that are lifelines. There is love for everything, but no other love as deep as the love that I feel for you. There is love for life after being grief-stricken, shot down on soil by men who pledge allegiance to a flag and a badge. There's no deliverance to their vigilance on our innocence, but yet I feel like just because I was born with this beautiful black skin, I win, because I am love.
Yeah.
I started writing as an outlet. Growing up in a troubled neighborhood, being, I guess, what you want to call a nerd, it didn't suit well, you know, growing up in the ghetto, you know, so I started writing everything out. And ended up getting incarcerated, and I used my poetry to get me out of that situation. As I got older, got myself in trouble, so I realized I had a gift, you know, and I started writing letters for other men who, you know, were going through the same thing. And I realized I had a gift, you know, and I started writing letters for other men who, you know, were going through the same thing. And I realized I had a gift, you know, and I started writing letters for other men who, you know, were going through the same thing.
couldn't write home. You know, they didn't have the English education. So I would write letters for them, and I'd be like, man, can you help me get back with my girl? And I'd be like, well, I don't know if this gonna work, and let me write this poem for you, you know. And I realized I had a gift, and it saved my life, actually. So I'm gonna share a couple of pieces with y'all. Black men, they've aged in the place that they call the fountain of youth. Wasted away years incarcerated, dreaming of what they've become. Punished for who the crooked system said they became. The judicial system said their form of unity is the shackles used in connecting inmates together. Stories in conjunction, current addict, ex-dealer, project warrior. Their backgrounds forced them to be warriors. Fights, fist to fist against their own dads. Now solo up against the gangs the little neighborhood has had a survivor. Now amongst bricks and steel, correctional officers, they don't help with the corrections. No peace offering or protection for those of my complexion that is divide us up by color and crime. It's a setup, just like some of the communities, and only the strong will survive. Then you're given a number, you go into a database so you can always fit the description. Allow men to get brutalized and scarred mentally just for chasing a little illegal, underhanded financial blessing. Locked up senselessly and hope they can just reconnect once freed again and blend in environmentally, though crime has been committed. The system forgot that they were men. Forgot that long ago Bill Clinton shut down jobs 80% of black men held. Forgot long ago they brought the dope right to our very doorstep. Pushed us to the pavement. Aligned with the dope. There was murder over territory that filled up the city streets. They chopped the kings and King Kennedy from streets called Buckeye to Union. Some built unions and organizations that communicated with walkie-talkies, visible guns, and homemade gang signs. They turned our landmarks into landmines. Placed cocaine in the place of emptiness. Placed heroin in the small openings of our own neighbors' depression. Squeezed us in after creating public housing like sardines and expected no retaliation filled with aggression. May God bless them. They brought guns to our hoods. They initiate the pain and the grief that fills these homes in our hoods. Yes. Some of my black friends, they haven't made more than minimum wage in years. You tell me. How does that help a man feed his kids without lack of sleep and confusing fears? But let it be down to the last and they family can't eat. He knows there's severe punishments for the blood money located in the alleyways of the streets. You know, where the innocent and the iPhone making for video for war star, crime scene tape, prayers for visuals, all of it meets. My black brothers pray at night too. The answers of silence, it causes the mind to go violent. A man needs help or he will go back to the drugs and the violence. What does he do if he's educated and he still ain't ate for days? Of course he going back to the gutter. Of course he gonna go get it how he live. Of course he won't shed no tears for the crimes that he's did. But inside he's just broken. With a motto in his mind and in his heart. And he's always hoping the crime pays when it ain't no job openings. So
That's one of my favorites.
I wrote that poem for a friend of mine. Can't stay out of jail. That's basically the story of that. But he went really young. When you make those decisions really young, like I did, everybody don't recover. That's why I'm grateful. We living in a crazy world right now, unfortunately. You know. Unfortunately, I just write about it. Try to make sure I do my part, and I see what you're doing. You know, I see what's going on. But at the end of the day, I'm still grateful. You know, I'm still happy to be alive. You know, at any moment, life can be over. And I ain't talking about from getting shot or anything. Anything can happen. Anything. It's called The Great Replacement. Before I begin, I wrote this poem because I seen this man on Fox News, and he actually wrote a manifesto about replacing the black community many years ago. So when one of them shooters ran up in one of them spots, killed a bunch of people, it got brought back up, and I couldn't believe that I was actually watching this on the news, and it just made me realize just how far we've come, that they would actually show us somebody who wrote up an article about extinguishing all blacks. He's still walking around free. So I wrote a little poem about it. I am grateful to be black, age 42 now, aging gracefully. I came from the bottom. I reminisce at times how I never had to worry about a school shooter. The most danger we were in was security guards chasing us to class, catching us in the bathroom, sneaking puffs of cigarettes in good grass. That was high school. Even younger, I played with toys, ran around in the yard safely. My mom watched from the porch, grandmother alongside her, an extra set of eyes, black guardians, sent us to the grocery store by ourselves with a list and exact change and 3 to 4 coupons, and we better make sure we gave to the cashier before you tell you the total. I ran, I laughed, my neighbors, kids almost was like my other siblings. Racism was hidden more securely back then. I never knew I'd go to bed and pray I'd make it through the night. Wake up, thank God that I made it through the night. After watching 11 black people die and yet another assault, we stay target practice. By way of gun, by way of crooked politician, Fox News supports it, pushing the agenda, move forward with violence on blacks in America. Henceforth, 180-page manifesto found in the suspect's closet, streamed on Twitch. Our life be a game, gone away in seconds. Witnesses tell accounts of what they will never forget. Those visions, they won't disappear. They won't go away peacefully, like visualization of yet another white mass murderer getting walked away easily. Steady, we demand justice. No more marching now, no more protest now. Truth be told, we want a little blood, and some of y'all family members should know how I feel to scrape up funds to put one of yours at the ground. Tears shed over miles of dirt you reluctantly dug, yet we're called savage, average, lower than, but we should be called champion and survivor, fluid and motherfucking triumph over trauma. I'm gonna just keep going. Woke back up.
Yeah.
Most times I'm private, but I've been meaning to put a lot of things on paper, so here it goes. I wanted someone to know that I cry at great movies. I tear up during the news. Nowadays, 30 minutes of information is filled with terror and death. I love animals, but I probably would never own one. I mean, maybe. I do like to take care of things, those who need taken care of. My mom raised me that way. I miss her every day. I secretly talk to her sometimes. I had a hard time forgiving God before now, but we are all his child. Still about my morning call and coffee and her voice telling me that God is able. The anger lasted a while. I don't agree with others sharing my pain unless you hear it through my poetry, but truth is, most times, they wouldn't even care how you feel if they were willing to hurt you in the first place. Remember that God says we should forgive. My mom taught me to try to. Said it was for me and not the other person, so I do. It's therapeutic. I write often. Sometimes it rhymes. Sometimes it's painful. A description of a current situation. Not many poems I write you laugh to. That makes me laugh because my girlfriend says I'm funny. Not how like life is though. Like how excuses are not. When children lost their lives to bad decisions, or when a mother can actually say out of her mouth that her own child got mutilated by bullets, 60 of them to be exact, from those sworn in to protect. It's not funny like Cremo III actually being brought in peacefully, because we're all used to that kind of funny. I mean, I'm sure if this is a poem, but I write my feelings out sometimes, you know? I guess sometimes might be one of my favorite words. My favorite poem is Sometimes I Do. I also wrote that. I performed it. It never won anything monetary, but I got a friend who asked me to do it at a show for Juneteenth downtown Cleveland. That was one of the most special moments of my life. And then I had another friend who asked that I perform it at his book signing, so that made me happy. I felt like people saw me then, beyond the words, beyond who I used to be, beyond what I'll become. They always tell me I'll be great one day. I sometimes wonder, is that later or now? And I just can't complete completely see God's vision? That's a good question, huh? I love to love, though I probably haven't done it properly ever. I still try to. It's worth it. If effort brings a smile, most people could use a reason to do that shit anyways. So I never mind being corny, because laughter is just laughter. It heals like writing does, or singing, or reading, or praying. Outlets, they can help you escape. Over the last few weeks, I've cried, I've wept, not because I'm hurting, but others are. There's been more funerals than birth, more funerals than weddings, so I just try and be peaceful. Push my love now, spread some joy, spread a little love. Tell you if you heard this, that things will be okay soon. Maybe not soon enough, but soon, because I know I'm standing here to show you that God don't fail.
Yeah.
Tommy, I love you.
Love you too, bro.
You already know. It's unspoken. You know. I appreciate you. I appreciate, you got that depression hoodie on. I've been looking at it all night. Dang,
it's not real.
It's real for me. I suffer from depression. I think I had it well. I don't know, my girl might tell you different, but she can't speak right now because I got the mic. But it made me want to do my poem that I buried. I buried this poem. This thing says 2019. But I wrote it when I was going through a time where I felt like I had to get my own self out the slump. It felt like wasn't nobody helping. Everybody been there. It might not even be true. People might be trying to help all you want, but if you can't get yourself out of it, fuck what everybody else saying. It ain't gonna matter. So I wrote this poem in an attempt to battle my own depression. It's called Depression Challenges Me One Day. In this world full of trauma and misunderstanding, love seems now to be misunderstood. It appears to only be a catchphrase or a passionate moment in time that we hope to value or that we discuss with malice and just call it a phase. Though I'm an introvert at times, hiding behind the magic inside of the lines, I gave in to my unbalanced emotion, and now I no longer question how easy it is to fall inside the arms of depression. With the previous pain I had endured from consecutive heartbreaks and grief, my distorted mind state told me maybe this seclusion would become a blessing, and at the beginning of the internal pain, I actually named it. I named it She. And she became relief. I figured I could use her as a shield to hide behind my grief. I mean, at least I could depend on that friend, never smiling with fictitious intention. I know that when she holds me tight, she means to squeeze the life out of me. She vowed long before love interrupted her search for my soul that she will only possibly let me go. She always promised she wouldn't let the prescribed medication make me feel like we wouldn't survive the struggle of not having a physical, intimate relation. I mean, one day a little sunshine snuck in my window. I wondered of a new friendship briefly. I asked her, why you won't leave? She replies, she protects me from the vigilance in the streets. She claims these closed blinds that shut out any light helps me be delivered from the reality that on the outside, they're chasing down my kind with my skin. Women are victims of psychological damage. They gave names to our young black men. Guess what? They calling y'all savage. Suspects, police victims, attackers, fathers are being murdered on cold blood on city streets, and at least here secluded in the darkness of this room, I can keep you safe. I can protect you from being judged because you chose friends who don't wear perms and chose their lacks of love, chose their locks as an expression. You're just having a moment, Adam. Wow. You failed at love. So why be so afraid of full commitment here, safe in this house with me? No one will know of the nightmares you still have from your days spent incarcerated. Aren't I strong enough to hold you dear like I do so many other millions of souls? Do you think finding a different mate that will share laughter and funny stories and go out on pleasant dates will help you escape? She promised, I'll never leave you alone. I'm attached to your bones. I've stayed right underneath your pillow for years. All those lonely nights you struggle with your fears. God ain't the only one who bottles up tears. It'll be quite different with you. See, God gave you this outstanding gift, and I've been keeping it a secret. You probably could just write our friendship away. With every adjective and a verb, with every slam you enter that your story is heard, with every feature you receive, you got magic inside those lines to break chains. That pain, I hear it when you practice your poems. It's that special moment inside of you, Adam. And when you find it, I'll have no choice but to leave you alone.
This poem it kind of goes with that.
So every time I feature, I gotta be myself. I share. I ain't just no poet. You know, I'm a motivational speaker. I actually got videos on YouTube where I went to Case Western University and John Carroll University, and I had an opportunity to speak to kids and tell them the value of holding on to your love. Not to give it away so freely. It is one of the most valuable things inside of you that God gave you is your love. And trust me, when it gets crushed, it breaks you down into a way where you feel like you got up, but you actually didn't, because you didn't deal with the fact that somebody crushed your love. You just got back up. Love is like water. Without it, you cannot survive. And that doesn't mean having a mate. It means self-love. It means self-care. That means looking yourself in the mirror and say, I matter. That means looking yourself in the mirror and saying, I can do this today. Because the toughest man will cry in private and then step out and say, everything is okay. The toughest man will also tell you, I'm not okay. I need a little help. I need a little love.
Yeah.
I saved something for you. I put it away on a shelf, away from any danger, away from possible catastrophic ending. I wanted it to heal a while. Before I let it out into the world again, before I shared it, let it receive likes, dislikes, the love button, or any comments we wouldn't agree with or understand. Sometimes you forget how valuable something that you possess is after it's been damaged, after it's been trampled upon, not appreciated by the select few you chose to share it with. Now having it back, it has to regain its value. So I saved it. I'm going to cherish it this time. Nurture it back to its vibrant and infectious self. Protect it, hide it from the unworthy. Detach what I thought to be treasure holders. Draining. We've learned lessons, so the next time around I won't be so blind. I deserve that. Decided to pour into it with each prayer, each poem written, each apology owed to someone I wronged. Each time I had to ask for forgiveness with therapy, a few good books, a few good blunts, some time alone. Even though boredom sometimes create waves of unwanted thoughts, I've had time to know how to discard them properly. Because when you look in the mirror and shame overshadows the beauty that you are supposed to feel, then how can you effectively share that with someone else and expect them to see anything different? No one can operate long off desire if they haven't built the proper habits to stay consistent. You have to regroup, re-energize, meditate, create new ways of positivity, get back on your knees, try again, and again, and again. Thoughts and actions will follow, but keep trying again. You may stumble, you may feel the strength of two hands lifting you up if you pray out those slums and that depression, freeing you from that anxiety because you deserve it. Stay diligent, perseverance, that's just nothing. It's easy to get. Yes, those are just a couple of your characteristic traits, but the most important one of them all is to believe in yourself. That is the one thing that will always strengthen your own faith.
Got a couple more. Saving my favorite for last, of course. Yes, it's sometimes I do.
We know.
Got another story for y'all.
Listen.
When I was growing up, I did not have many friends, fallouts, no opportunities to make amends. Began wondering, was I living or just briefly existing? I was seeking wrong friendships, but still I became persistent and chose the streets. My mom made sure my brother and I didn't get enlisted in nobody else's fight. I worked a job at a local supermarket, but I ended up robbing 2 suburban gas stations, throwing rocks at the penitentiary from the very start. The devil was smiling, sizing me up for a coffin. Some would say I was just lost in, street deep in my thoughts, chasing death at highway speed. The results, the continuing pursuit of survival, even if it meant departure from my healthy church upbringing, to embracing secret dark sins. I've had to fight against close friends and rivals, then correctional officers who offered no suggestion for correction or protection. Mental health security is a phrase in some parts. All this is endured. It was more than a reflection. I was a child wandering through city streets. I was lost, buried deep inside my own grief, not realizing how close to death I was. The world was vicious, same as now. The same applied 20 years ago. Black men were still subject to be hung by a jury of their peers, laid out on blood-covered cement, gone too soon. We searched in our memories for clues as to when they were trying to tell us that they were leaving. Black America is still covered by media lies and distractions, punished for our reaction to the injustice, repeatedly ignored by the Capitol's ridiculous accusations, like in the way we dress, the way we party, the way we congregate. So many are confused as to what survival really looks like. Depression, grief, anger, jealousy, and confusion amongst the many emotions that black men deal with daily. Supposed to be strong. Man, who labeled us warrior? Fighting has never been a choice or a first option. Our culture built by oppression, strategically damaged by Democrats and Republicans, local cops, mayors, governors, gangs built by our own brothers, slaughtering one another with no regard to protect the woman or our own mothers. And one wondered why the last thing that we say to one another before departing after our party and our congregation is, yo, man, be safe.
Quit dropping them papers like that. Well, it's coming out hot.
So,
I got 2 more for y'all.
Right. Shit, get real. Shit's been real all night, man.
Big
So, I like to be transparent. So, I ain't even gonna play the guessing game. I'm gonna just tell y'all, I am a preacher's son times 2. Both my parents were ministers. and my grandmother and my grandfather.
Generation.
Come from a long line.
I come from a long line of preachers and did like 10 years in prison. Ain't that crazy?
Nah, it's not working.
But the thing I'm trying to get to is when I wrote this poem, I fell out with God. Oh, I don't want to hear that. All y'all fell out with God.
That's easy to do.
I was mad. I was real. I was big mad. My cousin that died in a house fire. He was a hero. Y'all hear about him later. But yeah, I didn't understand life at that time. Like, okay, so finally I'm starting to do good, and this happened. I figured the only way to not be mad was to write. I slammed with this poem too. I was feeling myself that day. I wanted people to know how I was feeling. I knew I wasn't gonna win, you know, but I did what I had to do.
That's right.
First giving out of the God who was undoubtedly the head of my life. Many have said that you You only sometimes exist. They blamed you for the pain. They say you were there and acted unaware during world tragedies and calamities. They blame you for the deaths. No prayers go forth to you after one loses control of the balance that he or she needs to feel stable inside their mind, including mine. I'll admit, after Frank died, I lost my path. My voice tunnel straight to you had been shattered by non-committed acts and dreams of the other side. If only I could build courage for suicide. Imagine they say you were all seen and all knowing, yet I tried to hide from you. Connected from my birth, yet I wanted to divide from you. Yet in your places you provided for worship and congregation that teach. They say I shall always abide in you. They say that no one should come before you. They say that I should diligently serve, be diligent even through trials and tribulations to ensure my prayers are heard. Non-believers, I said you were cruel. On vacation during our times of needs, understanding of how death comes for us all, but yet you still been blamed for the deep agony and the grief. And to my disbelief, the same spectators that cry out to you for peace after murders have rocked our streets, have put you on trial and found you guilty in front of newscasters and media. The charge, just a variety of questions like, how can you want us to love when through hateful and despicable actions it appears you claim back the souls you chose to keep? Like, why can't you take back this depression and aggression? Why are families divided, and why is our nation constantly under attack? Why does racism and hate only be aimed at the men who shed the same color skin as on my back? Many have said it, God. They said you only select to choose when you be listening, while you oversee your commands for your people to speak of love through our spiritual witnessing. Like, how do I be faithful to you? Aren't you responsible for the desires of the men who came and killed my brother? Do you control the death angel as well? Then why they go pay a visit to my faithful mother? You said you loved her. My auntie choked on her own vomit and died. She was a missionary, but that cause of death sounds like suffering. So am I lying? So can I just help but to wonder? I've lost it all. It never came back sevenfold. Have I not been as faithful as Job? But I've learned, God. I've learned not to question you. He's made miracles happen for me. That bullet aimed for me, it missed. That case, the face life, it got dismissed. I lost my mom and my grandma, but we still out here with my nephew, and I got a brother and a sister. I wrote a book and I sold a few. I won't ask no questions, God, at least not directly to you, even though sometimes I pray that your vision for my destiny is something that you let me take a little review with you. I want to know, after all this agony, what do I do to ensure I have a special place with you? If there will be more lives that I'll lose, more emotional breakdowns, and I have to climb back up through the eternal bruising. What else do I have to prove? Since I am still proud to be your son, blessed to be called into this life, despite my fights that I lost, though I battle with all my might, God, I am pleased. I just had a few questions. Then maybe you can help me find a little balance, but I know no one can know the day or the hour, and I may never have these answers.
Well, y'all ready?
We ready.
It's my last poem, y'all.
Hold on, wait. Okay, now.
Sometimes I do. I get beside myself, feeling sorry for myself, expecting certain recognition for my position. Though I've worked hard at developing these intriguing lines, sometimes there are no finger snaps and no hand claps after the performer, me, takes the stage and gives about the pain that he's been through. Sometimes I see strangers in the crowd, and yes, there's a disappointment from seeing no familiar faces as I fill the spaces of beating hearts and thoughtful minds. It only pushes my pen further across tear-stained notebook lines, and eventually I'll write something that's astounding and surprising and beautiful. As Barack Obama's letter to the family of Nipsey Hussle, continuing in this marathon of competitions and poetry slams and features, and openly using the mic to share how the poetry's been the blood in my veins. This is the force inside me, described as a gift, something shareable, immeasurable, worth value, and shines bright as a mother's smile, staring at her child. But somehow I got lost trying to win over supporters, and I forgot my original purpose. To share how the poetry revived my mental energy just from the memorization of the very lines I had written, called redemption through reliving, not so they could say that I had bars or I was spitting, so they know that surviving and cleaving amongst racism and unfair wages and late night gun wars that often explode and end in a black man dying or a black family losing are so real that I wrote it all down on paper and mark history with dates frozen in memory. Like t-shirts that we make to represent our fallen, or all the times I got off my knees praying for strength from God to continue to move forward, drawing energy from God and the sun. And yes, with every ink pen stroke, I do continue forward. Sometimes I do. I get lost in these words. Some derive from my own depression. Some derive from my own grief, but this poetry, it says that I've overcome and I'm not done. I love when others listen. Perhaps I'm a storyteller, a walking, talking reenactment of the events that enclosed me inside my own sanctuary. When my cousin Frank died in a house fire, it's amazing, it's ironic. Even in the midst of death, we are drawn what we aspire to be. He went further in the house to save the kid. A selfless act, a hero. So now when I walk and I talk and I speak this poetry to my writer friends, audiences, to let them know that inside you are all heroes. Because sometimes this poetry, it be like holy scripture, recited out loud to myself for healing. Or transmitted to the heavens to say, Mama, I still love you. Trayvon, we ain't forgot you. Sandra Bland, I'm still saying your name. Me, or should I say we, this poet, still representing black lives that matter. Or all the young blood of our young black men that have been spilled on these pavements that have seen decades of disasters. I write about them caskets. I write to share with the world. Despite your failed goals, despite that lost hope, the inside, you all have the ability to heal yourself with just a few of your own written words. Good night, everybody. Thank you. Just wanted to say thank you again for everybody that came out. Please. Wherever you travel, make sure you be safe going home. Follow me. Again, it's love_now_ Adam Spells Poetry on IG. It's Adam Spells Poetry on Facebook. I promise you I'll post you material. I promise I'm going to post you videos. I'll keep you in tune. I'll keep you uplifted. I love you all because that's what I'm about. See, that's what I wear. That's what I wear. I'm about love. I'm aggressive, but I love. You know, I am.
You love aggressively.
I love hard.
I love hard. Y'all have a good night.